So today we're with Kayla and Kate, and we're going to be asking them a few questions about what they think about Americans.
Everything goes.
You pretty much love Americans and you have no problems with their lifestyle, the way they act, things like that?
I don't love them, I just don't have to deal with them, so I don't think anything of them.
So you don't really worry about them?
No.
What is something that Americans do or they say or the way they act that you guys would absolutely hate?
I don't know, I don't hate anything about Americans.
So you don't find maybe how they're loud or their accents or something like that kind of annoying?
I haven't really met that many Americans.
Sure. What do you reckon are some stereotypes that Australians have about Americans that you would say aren't necessarily true?
I don't know, I've never been to America, but I know that we seem to think that most Americans are overweight and obese, but I don't know, that's probably not true.
What do you reckon some things you like about Americans? Or that you admire about them?
Probably their lifestyle. Yes.
What is it about their lifestyle that you appreciate?
Everything's just like big and like, I don't know.
Yeah, everything's supersized. Yeah. Literally.
I think that we sound bogan compared to them. Like in movies, if they're like got an Australian actor, I think that we sound strange. Like our accent sounds not very good.
So would you say that Australians have stereotypes about Americans? That
well, not necessarily, but they might. A lot of them definitely do.
Yeah, I think that the usual American stereotype is that they're fat slobs that don't really care about much other than themselves, and all they want is money, and all they care about is money. I think you hear that being thrown around, but I don't think that's true, and I think a lot of people with common sense know that, you know, not every single person in America is like that, and probably few are.
What do you reckon are some stereotypes that they have about us that aren't necessarily true?
That we're bogans, live in the country, and live with native animals, I guess.
What are some things that Americans do, or they say, or the way they act that you guys absolutely hate?
The accent?
Yeah, probably the accent.
Yeah, the accent.
If someone gave you a free flight to go to America, where would be the first place you'd go, and why?
Disneyland, because I've always wanted to go there as a child. Or Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah.
For Americans wanting to come to Australia, are there any places where you'd recommend them to visit?
Probably Western Australia, Perth, like the beaches over there are really beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's about it really.
For Americans wanting to come to Australia, are there any places where you'd recommend them to visit?
Sydney.
Sydney?
Sure, Sydney. Sydney's good.
So the first question is, what do you reckon are some stereotypes that Americans have about Australians that aren't necessarily true?
Kangaroos.
What about kangaroos?
They're on the road.
Like we don't ride them to like school and stuff. Yeah.
So pretty much we don't use kangaroos as taxis kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much anything.
What are some stereotypes that Americans have about Australians that aren't necessarily true?
I have no idea. Do they have stereotypes about us? I don't even think Americans think about Australians that much.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure if they think that we live in cities. Like I think a lot of them might think that we just live in like the outback and stuff.
Is there anything particular that you appreciate or that you like about Americans?
They like our accents.
What would be something that you guys like about Americans?
A lot of their TV shows are really good.
TV shows?
They make good movies.
A lot of music comes out of this. It's pretty good.
Yeah. What do you think are some stereotypes that Americans have about Australians that aren't necessarily true?
That we ride kangaroos.
If you were to go to America, where would you guys visit?
New York.
New York?
Texas.
What do you reckon are some stereotypes generally that Australians have about Americans?
Macca's?
That they eat lots of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else do you reckon?
Like people.
Gangsters.
Yeah.
Drive-bys.
So we think that there's lots of gangsters and kind of drive. No, inappropriate's alright.
Everything goes.
Like nigger talk, you know what I mean? Like.
Stacey.
What are some things you say would make American people special and what you like about them?
I like that they are proud of their nation. I mean, that's cool to kind of have that patriotic thing, but I mean, we don't really care much here about that. But yeah, it's cool that they have that kind of love for their country and their people.